Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 13th to the 19th of October 2014. Now this is a fairly quiet and retrospective week, so it's a good time to reconnect with what we love and travel with Mercury as he goes back into Libra in his retrograde phase. So we begin the week with Mercury re-entering Libra, and this will take us back to mid-September when Mercury entered Libra and went across the point that he's going to travel back to. So working with a retrograde, when a planet's retrograde, it means that it takes that energy inside, it acts on a more magnetic level. So Mercury is how we process thought, and what we create as a result of it, our manifesting power. And Mercury going back into Libra is taking us back to creativity from the past, back to seek balance, back to realign and recalibrate ourselves with our true desire. So before we rush forwards into the busy part of November, it's a good opportunity to go back and see where the flow is, see what comes naturally, see where our talents are, and see where we can create peace where friction once was. So that aspect will be alive for the next couple of weeks. So we've got a chance to go in and have a look at that sunset of ourselves, where we draw inwards and where we go deep, maybe even back to the past, pick up some past talents and hobbies, things that just make us happy and flow, like dancing and singing and poetry. So there's a lovely gentle aspect there if we're not trying to push it outwards and achieve too much. At the same time, Venus, ruler of Libra, is in Libra, bringing doses of creativity to us as well, but opposite Uranus in Aries. So again, this can be sudden flashbacks, revelations, sudden changes, and realizations of our fluentness rather than our struggling and our trying and our controlling. So there's a lovely angle of opposition, Venus opposite Uranus, while Mercury's retrograde, both of those things working together to say whatever you're thinking, you're creating. So make sure you know what you're thinking. And if your thoughts have become old or railroaded into a bit of a cul-de-sac, then now's the time to go inwards, reflect, and figure out what it is that you actually do love. Whatever flows naturally in our lives is actually a good thing. It's something that we can follow. It may be one of our talents or something that's got more soul in it, so that when we plan from that level, things are actually more meaningful in the long run. Another very positive aspect this week, and this happens all week as well, is Jupiter is at a harmonic angle to Mars. So Jupiter is our sovereignty. Jupiter is where we rule ourselves. It's where we're strong and correct and upright. And Mars is where we take our soul desire and direct it. So with those two in warm fire signs making a positive angle to each other, and with all this Venus and Libra activity going on, then we're going back to the fire that we stoke inside ourselves. We're going back to what really matters and the place that we create from, in order to rekindle that flame and warm ourselves in the heat of that truth. So a very strong and powerful directed energy, but no need to direct that outwards just yet. Direct yourself inwards and start to feel your passion and what actually makes you feel warm inside. So those two angles working all week in a beautiful combination. By the time we get to Thursday, it's an interesting day because Mercury goes back and meets the Sun. And when Mercury and the Sun work together, we get coherence of a sort, but it depends where your mind's at. So this retrograde really does need working with, because if your mind is out of alignment with your actions, then that day can be very confusing indeed, especially for communication. But if it's not, if we're being true to ourselves and your mind and your life desire are well aligned and working together, then this can be a time maybe not to communicate, maybe not to try, maybe not too many words and actions, but there can be an authentic truth that comes through with this combination. So that's Thursday when Mercury goes back and meets the Sun in Libra, and we may be able to see where we've been pushing in two different directions and find that fusion, find that correlation. So all in all, a very gentle week, time to go backwards, time to reconnect with our soul desire, with our talent, with our joy and with our passion, and not necessarily make it happen just yet, but just reconnect with that and start to watch what flows from that space. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. I have an exciting new online module coming out this week, which is Astrology and Tarot. Most people work with one or the other. So this module is designed for tarot readers that would like to understand more about the astrological alignments of the cards, and for astrologers who would like to work more with the right brain and the intuitive hieroglyphic side of astrology by understanding the tarot cards and getting to learn the symbolism. So this module will take us through the elements, the suits, earth, air, fire and water, the numbers, ace to 10, the royal archetypes, younger male, younger female, older female, and the major arcana. And in the major arcana, each card is aligned to a zodiac sign, or a planet, or an element. So there'll be some fun exercises in this module where you can make yourself a tarot scope. You can actually do your chart with images using the archetypal tarot cards, and you can learn to go deeper so that you can get more out of an astrology reading and more out of a tarot reading, but without having to go for the long haul of learning both of those subjects from books or from a rational perspective. This is very intuitive, it's very fun, and I do recommend it if you want to take your practice deeper. So if you're interested in that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.